Hello everyone, my name is Putri Srisanti from Ganesha University of Education and English Language Education Department. In this video, I would like to try to answer 10 questions from my lecturer, Mr. Harry. And the course is e-learning for ELT. So without any further ado, let's jump to the first question. Question number 1. What is online learning? Explain also synchronous and asynchronous learning. Online learning is education that takes place over the internet and known as e-learning. Online learning is both students and teacher because they can learn and teach anywhere and anytime. In online learning, you need devices such as smartphone, laptop, or computer to connect with the internet so you can do an online learning. Online learning can support two kinds of learning based on the time. They are synchronous and asynchronous learning. What is synchronous learning? Synchronous learning means that the learning happens in the same time. The teacher and the students do a learning process in the same time, while online, or we can call it real-time learning. For the example is Skype. When the teacher and the students do a online learning in Skype, it calls synchronous learning because they do a learning in the same time. So what about asynchronous? Asynchronous is the opposite of synchronous learning. Asynchronous means that the learning happens at different time. The teacher can post the material and ask the students to do an assignment, and the student can make their tasks anywhere and anytime they want. So asynchronous is more flexible than synchronous because both the teacher and the students can do learning anytime and anywhere they want. But of course, they must online. Second questions. What are the basic features of an LMS? LMS, or a learning management system, also known as a learning content management system. It is becoming a vital part of online learning to create and manage an online course. There are some of the basic features in LMS. They are announcements, syllabus, lessons, discussion forums, Dropbox or assignments upload, resources, gradebooks, and course email. So announcements. This is the example of the announcements. So announcements, teacher announcements are usually the first thing students see when entering an online course within an LMS. The announcements feature is the place where the teacher communicates important updates to the class. When the teacher posts an announcement, it will be waiting for students to read it whenever they enter the online course environment. And the second is syllabus. After reading the course announcements, the students review the course syllabus. The syllabus feature is an essential component of the course environment. It provides structure for the course and outlines course expectations. Syllabus needed to familiarize students with the course requirements. And the next is lessons. Online lessons replace the lecturers, discussions, and activities that may take place in an on-site classroom. So the lessons are the core instructional containers for your course. As a teacher, we may post a lesson for each unit of instructions. So the lessons should lead the students through the course learning outcomes. And next is discussion forums. Students go to the discussion forums to participate in the online class discussions. The forums feature is an asynchronous communication tool that allows for the exchange of ideas through the use of a message board format. The structure of most discussion forums is based on a participant's ability to post message or reply to message posted by other participants. Communication between participants is initiated when someone posts a topic or questions for discussion. So discussion forums are used to promote conversations between students and the teacher. The next is Dropbox or assignments upload. A Dropbox is a digital space in which documents, presentations, links to websites, and more can be uploaded by the students and accessed by the teacher. And next is resources. So the resources feature store all types of digital and online materials that students are required to review, including readings, websites, games, image, sounds, recording, and video. The teacher may provide a link to each the student to find the material. So for the example, in my drama course, my lecturer give a link, a YouTube link to each the students to find the material. The next is Gradebook. So the Gradebooks feature is a tool that displays students' attendance, participations, assignments, and project grade. This feature enables the teacher and the students to review and track academic progress throughout the semester. And the last is Course Email. The Course Email feature is an asynchronous communication tool that enables the teacher to send message to class members and also view, receive, achieve, or send course-related messages. Course email uses the same features as other email systems in that it allows users to send message to single or multiple users. So that's are the basic elements on LMS. Next to the third question. As an online course teacher, give an example of a good introduction writing for one topic meeting. Please explain. So this is the example of a good introduction, in my opinion. So in making an introductions, we must use a clear, concise writing. So the simpler and clear the words we use, the student will easy to understand or to get the meaning of our text or instructions. So in making an introduction or announcements, we must avoid jargon, colloquialisms, and acronyms, and never use a long word where a short one will do, and never use the passive where we can use the active form. And make sure our sentences and paragraphs are brief and to the point. And please use familiar and common words, so the students will easy to understand or to get the meaning of what we instruct to them. So move to the fourth question. Why online material must be attractive and what elements are needed? Online material must be attractive because it can attract the students' interest in learning, so they don't bore while they learn or doing a task in that course. This is different than simply clear text and well-organized material. So it should be graphically appealing or the visual appealing. The appearance or the look of the course as important as the lessons themselves. There are some elements needed in creating attractive online material. The first one is layout, and text, color, and graphic elements. Layout. So, big layout is uncluttered and open, and includes a significant amount of white space. An online layout must be open means that there is enough white space on the page to keep the mind clear, enough white space to allow the online student to feel that they are not overburdened by the tasks at hand. So there is sufficient space between lines, paragraphs, and the right and left of the text, so that it stands out and is easy to read. The space between lines and paragraphs provides white space. It gives the reader a visual break. So, and always use left justified text with rich right margins. When lines of the text are too long, it is difficult to read. And when the text is justified on both sides, it can look neater than text that is only justified on the left. And headings and subheadings are used consistently to logically organize the contents. The second one is text. Because the typefaces in online have a much lower resolutions than typefaces on paper, using sans serif typefaces make the text readable. So the type size also important factor in online readability. Our type size should be large enough to be easily readable by all students. And use bold and italic typefaces to emphasize important items. In an online environment, underlining is used only for hyperlinks, and you should avoid using all caps. All caps because all caps should only be used for acronyms. And for the color sections is very important to make the word readable, because readability depends on contrast. So your color background and your color type must be contrast. The next is graphic elements. So in graphics elements, there are symbols and icons. Visual elements like symbols, icons, shading, and color are used consistently to distinguish between different types of course elements. And you can use bullets or numbers to set apart items that can be listed. Numbers are used to identify sequential steps in a task or process. They are also used for ranking and setting priorities. Bullets are used to highlight a series of items that are not prioritized or sequential. So that's all about the elements needed in creating attractive online. And move to the fifth questions. Please explain types of online learning activities and provide relevant technological tools for the types. So there are 6 types of online learning activities. The first one is class discussion. The second is journal writing. The third is share knowledge base. The fourth is practice exercise. The fifth is projects, and the last is receptive activities. So in class discussion, online class discussion facilitates the students to participate in an online course. So there are many ways to create dynamic and rich class discussion in an online course. There are 3 discussions forum types: social, general, and topic driven. And for each type, the goal is the same: to create a space that encourages discussion and community. The tool in this activity is discussion forum. Discussion forum is a space for teacher and students to do a discussion about the topic given. It provides a place for asking questions about discussing a new topic. So designs a place for learners to explore the topic with others and clarify their understanding of the weekly course content. And it enables students to analyze and synthesize class readings and observations through a focused exchange of ideas. The second one is journal writing. So journal writing uses blog as the tool. So the goal of this activity is to assess how well students understand about the material. Students can express themselves freely because they share their reflective just for the teacher. I'm as a student mostly feel shy if my work seen by my friends. So by doing this activity, me as a student more comfortable in expressing my idea. So by doing this activity, both student and teacher can reflect themselves. And move the third is share knowledge base. The tool of this activity is wiki. The purpose is to build collaborative glossary and to annotate bibliography. This kind of activity requires group or whole class involved in it. So everybody can participate to edit the information discussed. The fourth is practice exercises. The tool in this activity is testing and quizzing. Test, uh, Testing and quizzing in form of multiple choice or self-assessment. This kind of activity requires individuals or pairs class involved in it. And the next is projects. This kind of activity use multiple option tools such as work groups, wikis, blogs, or discussion forums. The activities are group project presentations or group research projects, and the participants can be individuals, pair, or the whole class depends on the project given. And the last is receptive activities. This kind of activity use PDF, podcast, YouTube, Google presentation, and etc. as the tools. So the activity can be in form of audio, visual presentations, course reading, and miscellaneous audios and videos, which will be done individually by the students. So next to the 6 questions, the question number 6 is, online discussion is one important element in online learning. Sometimes it may not work well. How does a teacher optimize discussion? So based on my experience, when the discussion doesn't run well, the teacher usually give more feedback to the students and start a new topic, or the teacher may add some information to be discussed again in the discussion sections. So everyone in the class can participate in the discussions. So that's my opinion how to make or optimize the discussion in online learning. Move to the question number 7. Please provide an example of a learning resource that can be used to engage learner in online learning. So there are some learning resources that can be used to engage learner in online learning, such as text-based supplemental resources, image, audio and video recordings, voices and perspectives from the class, expert voices, practitioners and academics, experiences from the field, and free web-based tools and resources. So as the example, I pick video. So mostly my teacher give a link of the YouTube as the more knowledge to the students. So the teacher give the new knowledge or more information about the material by provide the student link of the YouTube. This is the video. And question number 8. Kindly give an example of effective assessment in English online teaching and learning. You can pick one or the interrogation of more than one language skill. So this is the example of effective assessment. First is the learning objective. The learning objective is the students are able to create a context according to the social functions, text structure, and language features. And this assessment is to create a recount text according to the social functions, text structure, and language features. The procedure is the product and the type is written. So the language skill is writing. The instrument is please choose one of the topics provided. The first one is your first day in school. The second one is your most exciting day in school. The third is your favorite summer vacations. And the fourth is your bad experience. So that's the example of assessment in English online teaching and learning. Move to the question number 9. What are the basic elements to consider when building an online course? Please explain. So there are 3 basic elements when building an online course. The first one is learning outcomes. So learning outcomes are at the core of a process that creates courses and programs that follow through on their promises. And the second is the online syllabus. The online syllabus is the core organizing document for the teacher and the students. It is where the students go to find out everything they need to know about the course requirements, evaluation process, contact information, schedule, and institutional policy. The syllabus should be written to give students a clear sense of the teacher's expectations for performance. When a student finishes reading the syllabus, she should have a clear sense of what it will take to achieve the course learning outcomes and succeed. And for the teacher, it is also the framework for course development. The third is the course outlines. The online course outline is a calendar and a to-do list and presents a sequence of events, assignments, reading activities, and course deliverables. So those are the basic elements when to consider when you're building an online course. So this is the last questions, the question number 10. Please give an example of one online lesson in your class for one meeting. So this is the example. Hi class, this time we are going to learn about cause and effect. You will be required to be able to create an explanation text about cause and effect. Before make an explanation text, you must do these activities. The first one, watch a video in the link below. The second is read the PowerPoint provided. And you can use other references outside the references provided here, but don't do a plagiarism. And the third, after you follow the instructions above, you can create your explanation text after finishing your writing, so you can submit it in the submission sections. So in this example of online lesson from one meeting, the instructor first give the students the material or the knowledge by provided them with video YouTube, and then the teacher or instructor add more knowledge by provided the students by PPT, and the instructions allows the students to use other references to get more informations, and then the instructors ask them to submit the writing. Okay, that's all about my answer. Thank you for watching, and I'm sorry if I have a lot of mistakes, and of course I have. And see you in another time. Thank you.